Thought we probably one of our better defensive games that we had in the conference play this year, being able to hold Boston College to 59 points. I thought we did a really good job of battling post, being able to hold him scoreless. I thought that was the difference in the game. He came in. He's one of the best players in our conference, and a big part of what they were doing. And Boston College is a good team. They fought. They got going a little bit late, but I thought overall defensively, holding them to 22 points in the first half, and then 37 in the second half. That was a little bit much, but I thought overall, we got out to a good start. Offensively, I thought we started the game the best that we've had in a while as far as getting JT and Chris some shots, and that's what we wanted to do. I love the pace, the way the pace was. I thought the ball moved a lot more in the first half, but was really happy to see Chris Bell get some shots going down. We needed. He had a big one when he got back in the game late. Big three-pointer we needed. Justin had some open looks, and we need him. I'm glad he took those, and I thought Quadir really did a good job. He took care of the ball. No turnovers. 3 steals. 4 assists. I just thought he really did a good job, especially late. Handling and getting the ball to Malik in those short rolls and those ball screen situations. Again, I knew something was going to be a little rusty. I'd rather take our offense being a little bit off after the layoff than our defense. And I thought our defense won the game, and I thought we battled back late in the second half. I know we were down big at the beginning of the second half, and we still lost a rebounding battle. But I thought we kind of got back into it a little bit at the end. But overall, thought we, again, didn't play the best offensive game, but I thought our defense was really good. I thought it was active, and I think it could be a little bit better. There was some moments towards the end where we fell asleep on a couple of those guys, and Matson and Harris got loose. Up until that point, though, I thought we did a really good job. Questions?
Adrian, you brought up Quentin Post, but can you talk about the way Malik played against him today, and the way he just played just generally?
I thought Malik was phenomenal again. I thought he was. I was worried about the foul situation, and he did a good job of not getting in fouls. But I thought he moved his feet. I thought he was physical. I thought he was quicker. He didn't get this. He got 4 steals, but he typically gets a little bit more than those. But I thought he was good. I thought he was really good offensively. I thought he rolled, set screens, made the right plays, made the right passes, finished around the rim. And then he made his free throws. That was huge. People, I keep saying, his offensive game is starting to, come around, and those free throws were huge. Again, we didn't have our best shooting night at all today, but to be able to, muster out, pull out that win, that was big for us.
Talk about the point. How come Judah didn't start tonight?
Just a little violation of team rules. Nothing serious. We have moved on. I expect him to be ready to go Saturday.
Okay.
Everything is okay.
Coach, can you talk about the poise of your team tonight? Losing a 19-point lead, BC takes the lead, and then you guys,
Yeah, I talked about that with those guys in the locker room. I thought they showed a tremendous amount of poise, coming into those timeouts and losing the lead and just kind of staying with it. They've been battle tested. We've been in games from game one. Game one all year. We've been in tight games, even the early ones. We've jumped out early, and teams have clawed their way back in. And so I thought they did a really good job of composing themselves, and we strung together about 4 or 5 really good offensive possessions.
I wanted to ask about Chris Bell. A quick follow-up on Brent's question first. Does this mean Judah's back in the starting lineup on Saturday in Carolina?
I expect him to be, yes.
Chris Bell. I think it's easy for a lot of guys to make a three when things are going really well, but you touched on that three he made when you fell behind about 7.5 minutes ago. What's it say about Chris in that moment that he can make that three when everything's going wrong?
I think it says a lot because I think he was out for a while, and he jumped back in the game, and I think he did a really good job of being involved in the game on the bench. I think when you're on the bench, you got to be involved in the game. So when you get into the game, you're already ready to go. And I thought he did a good job of that. And I watch for stuff like that when I'm coaching and the guys are on the bench. Seeing who's in the game, seeing who's not in the game. And I thought he popped right up and he was ready to go. And I was proud of him. Again, he's struggled a little bit. A couple of games, but, his confidence, he stayed with his confidence and he kept shooting. And, he hit a big three for us. We needed that three.
Adrian, Based on today's game, how are you going to game plan the center position moving forward without Naheem?
You know, we have to figure that out. I think obviously I thought Mounir gave us some good minutes, but you know, if I can, you know, get Malik and I can get, you know, we can kind of do it by committee. We still have Peter Carey. You know, sometimes you may have to sneak Benny in there every now and then, but I think Malik will get the bulk of those minutes. But again, it's going to be from game to game, depending on the matchups and depending on, you know, whatever the situation is. So we have some options.
Do you have any idea how long Naheem's going to be out?
No, not yet. Not yet. We should know something in a couple of days, and then we'll be able to kind of go from there.
Coach, what do you think went wrong in that second half stretch where BC took the lead?
I thought our defense kind of fell asleep. They matched and ran off a couple of screens, got some looks. I thought we lost our intensity on their shooters. Again, they had post out for a big part of the time, and I just felt like once we kind of got up, we lost our intensity locating their shooters, and then offensively we drove in there a couple of times, didn't get a couple of calls, so we had a couple of couple of empty possessions. That's what happened, and then they made it. And I told our team, I said, the one thing about Boston College is they're not going to give up. They're going to keep coming, and I think that's probably true for every team in our league. But you know, that's what I saw. I thought we fell asleep. And Madsen got a couple. I think Harris got a couple, and then they got a couple of tough twos in there. So they were mixing in threes and twos, and that's not a good recipe. You know, either you try to eliminate the threes and make people 2-point teams, but they were getting to get that lead back. They started making both.
Has physicality been an emphasis for your basketball team?
Yeah, you know, we want to be physical. I think this league is physical. I thought today's game was really physical, especially in the beginning. You know, I thought, you know, post and Malik, you know, bodies were flying, and that's, you know, we practice that way. You know, we're a tough group. You know, we may not always, you know, be, sexy, so to speak, but we fight. You know, we're a tough group. We fight, we battle, and you know, that's the group of guys I have, and they're competitors. I said it from day one. They love to compete. They fighters. They love to play. And, you know, again, it didn't rattle us. I thought it kind of actually helped us. It kind of woke us up. You know, when you have that long layoff, you know, you're always worried as a coach of how your team is going to come out. You know, you just don't know what's going to come out, especially in a 7 or 8 day layoff and then, you know, losing your last game. So you just never know how your team's going to come out. So I was pleased that we matched their toughness and their intensity, and, you know, we got the win.
Do you have to change your game any with how it was kind of called today?
We didn't. No. Only times you really change how it's called is, or you change your game is when you know certain guys get in foul trouble. And Malik did a really good job of staying out of foul trouble, and I thought Quadir did a good job of staying out of foul trouble. For the most part, I thought we did a good job of staying on the foul, keeping them off the foul line today. Anyway.
Coach, second straight 9 p.m. tip tonight. You also play at noon next time out. Any thoughts on the start time? Does that affect the game at all?
No, we just get ready to play whatever the time is. We get prepared. That's it. So.
What's the feeling in the locker room right now? Because obviously your team's shown incredible tenacity to come back and win close games, but also you go into halftime with a 17-point lead, and then it ends up being single digits at one point.
The one thing I always say is, and I always say this, you never take winning for granted. So obviously we didn't play. You know, we had a big lead. But that's the game. You know, that happens. We got to do a better job of that. And, you know, but never once do we take winning for granted. So again, that locker room is, you know, they're excited that we won. You know, and we got to get ready for our next game now.
Is it fair to say your offense struggled after you stopped getting so many turnovers early on? Were you leaning on your turnovers and defense early on, or do you think it was something else?
I just thought our offense, I think, obviously, I think their defense got a little bit better. But I thought we drove the ball. We kind of got the shots that we wanted, and we just didn't make them. I mean, JT and Chris, they still had some shots out there that I thought they could have made. Judah had a couple of drives that he typically makes, and Quadir missed a couple, and Malik missed a couple of chippies here and there. But for the most part, I thought our offense, we got the shots, we just didn't make them today. But you know, it was an up and down game. The pace was very, very fast in the beginning of the game. So, and then once it kind of settled down, I thought we did a good job of kind of putting the pressure on the rim. But we just, again, we missed some free throws. We didn't, we missed a couple of free throws that we typically make. But for the most part, I thought, our offense was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. It was good enough.
Coach, talk about Justin. He had quite a number of open looks tonight. He's been struggling lately. How do you get him going, or where's his confidence level?
Well, I think you try to just, like with Chris, you try to get him shots. You just gotta, you gotta shoot your way out of it. The only way that you can, get out of whatever slump or whatever it is that you have, you got to just keep shooting. And I thought, again, I was very happy with the way the game started, because, he hadn't gotten 11 shots in a long time. So I was very happy. I thought the ball was moving. I thought Quadir got him on a couple of really good passes. I thought JJ hit him early. So, I thought that was really big, the way we started the game, to get those guys involved, because we need those guys as we continually move further into our schedule.
Was that having him in for Benny at the end, just putting Justin in for Benny in the last 5-6 minutes?
Sometimes, you just kind of go with who you think may help at that time. I thought Justin, I thought it was going to be a foul, kind of a foul shooting game at the end as well. And he's a good passer, and not to say that no one else isn't. But I just kind of went with him. I just thought I wanted to get him back in, and I'm always trying to keep our guys fresh as well. So, if someone looks a little tired, I don't want to give anyone points because we're tired. We got a good group of guys, so we got a bunch of guys, so I try to keep everybody fresh.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.